Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of my big birding year for 2025. We're in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, hunting a few different species today. And for the first spot, I'm not going to film there just to kind of give it some secrecy. We are looking for a great horned owl, something I've never photographed. I've heard before while fishing, but there is a nest one here. So there's a ton of construction, so if I find it, I don't know how, hidden it is. I don't know. Never been here before, so if I can find a local, hopefully we can do that. Again, just because owls and secrecy and everything like that. You can find where these birds are on eBird and stuff like that. Please make sure to read up about observing owls and everything like that. Don't disturb them. Don't trespass to get to them. Don't bother them. Don't spook them. Don't do anything like that. Just be safe with it. Obviously, we don't want to harm the birds or anything like that. But I'm excited. Hopefully going to be the very first owl of the year. Judging by the title of this episode, you'll know if I got it or not. But I am really excited to do so. We're going to be going to quite a few parks here today, hopefully, depending on the time, the actual weather. We're supposed to be getting some high winds later this evening. So we'll see, but I'm really excited to hopefully cross off my first owl of the year. That would be absolutely amazing. All right, the great horned owl has been found. Sorry if the video didn't get too good. Due to the distance and the wind blowing some trees and branches in front of it, it was a little bit difficult to get. But I am so happy to finally get the first owl of the year. Now we are at Knoll Dowell Park, or I see a new species. There's a red-winged blackbird in front of me, I think. But anyways, this is definitely one of the better spots in all of Lancaster. So I'm really excited today to try and get here for the first time. I think this is where I have eastern meadowlarks marked down as a possibility, but then red-winged blackbirds for the first time and stuff this year as well. But that owl was my big wish list item for the day. Not item, but you know what I mean. I think that was a red-winged blackbird. We'll see. I'm not worried about the blackbirds and the crow, cowbirds and grackles. I'll see them when I see them. They're not birds that I'm going to necessarily travel for, but an owl I will. Again, especially since in Berks County, one of our local pairs was sadly killed by fishing line and stuff. So it is a shame, especially when birds get caught up in fishing line. It's something so easy to take care of. But again, Knoll Dowell, sorry if I can't pronounce that properly. It's Lancaster. God knows none of us can pronounce anything. But I'm excited. It looks like a pretty nice trail with a lot of species here throughout the month. So let's get started. All right, we're in the wetlands part of the trail. Obviously very dry currently, but just got the first red-winged blackbird of the year. Got some photos of one perched up. I can hear some more, so that is very exciting. That is another species on the day. We're only a little bit in. Definitely a lot of activity, a bunch of cardinals, house sparrows, house finches, and everything else. So definitely a beautiful little spot in the middle of a pretty busy area. All right, this is going to likely be the last stop for the day. There's one random vagrant near here that I haven't had luck on, a Say's Phoebe. I might try and get that because I know it's pretty close, but we'll see. We're at the Chestnut Grove Nature Area, I believe it's called. This is where the eastern meadowlark was. So Knoll Dowell was nice, and again, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. The red-winged blackbird was the only new species on the year there. No luck on the American woodcock, sadly, but it was still a beautiful spot. We got 20-something species marked down. At the very least, I like experiencing new spots, not only, get some eBirds for the different counties, and it's cool seeing where you performed really well, all that stuff, all the nonsense and the numbers of eBird. It's definitely a nice way to stay competitive with yourself. But yeah, so we're at Chestnut Grove right now, hopefully for the eastern meadowlark, but we'll see. All right, it's windy. However, we had no luck once again out here. So only red-winged blackbirds and a couple vultures, all turkey vultures. I still need black vultures. I don't know why I can't find those to save my life. Everybody else can here. And a few starlings, a couple doves. Again, beautiful spot, but not too much going on today, sadly. So it does not look like we're going to get our eastern meadowlark today. That would be a lifer. I was really hoping for one of them today, but not looking good. I know the last reported count was, I think, from yesterday, and there was only one seen, or at least recorded, so I don't know. But it's not looking good. Coming around the back trail now, but this is part of the Turkey Hill Trail, I believe, that's attached to it. I might go check out the Vagrant near here. It's a 9-minute drive. We got some daylight yet, so we'll see. I don't know, but this might be my outro regardless, because I can't film there, given that it's roadside access only, and I'm not going to stop in the middle of the road to do an outro, so I will end it here. Overall, good day in Lancaster, but definitely a little bit disappointing. We got a lot of species, just not a ton that we already needed. Very happy to get the red-winged blackbird finally. Sad about the meadowlark, but it happens. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me. If there's a little bit of the movie left, or the episode left after this, that means I went to go see the Vagrant and hopefully found it, or the meadowlarks. Alright, so thank you guys so much for joining me for another video. I am recording this while editing this video, actually, just because of how birding went after I was done here. So, this is kind of going to be the in-the-middle point. I did my day in Lancaster, the great horned owl and everything was amazing, and super excited to finally photograph one and see one, and not just hear one hooting in the background, so that was pretty awesome. However, from here on out, for the next few days, and I have my eBird list behind me, this is going to be kind of rapid fire. And the main reason being, if I'm driving somewhere along the highway and I see a black vulture or a turkey, and I can't stop, or it's not safe to do so, and it's a bird I've seen many times, and you know, one of the more common ones or something like that, same thing I've done before, where it's, I'll just kind of put the counter up here. So we do have a few, and I don't think you guys can see just because of the glare off the monitor back here, and ignore my sour Skittles, you know, this is what we do in the morning. I do have a few other species. Now, they were pretty much either drive pasts, or they were just little clips where I went out for 20 minutes before work, got maybe a species that I heard, but no real footage and stuff like that. So as of editing this is just kind of like the gap in between, where it was 15 minutes before work, 5 minutes before work, oh, there's a vagrant near work, got this warbler, so some stuff like that. And then I will include a little bit after this just yet, of like some other recordings. So basically we left off at species 109, which was the red-winged blackbird for the year. While driving in Exeter, I got the black vulture, which is going to be species 110. At Dunkin' Donuts, I got the grackle, which is 111. And don't worry, there will be pictures of these species coming in different videos, especially the grackle. You know, that was the first ones I've seen in the year. Now I've seen hundreds as of a week later, so there is that. Finally got my pileated woodpecker. Quite literally jackhammer noises. That's it. I've heard it multiple times since then, because I'm about 3 videos ahead of this. Officially in April, so it's chaos month. And I just jackhammer. I cannot see these things. I don't know what it is, and I don't know why Merlin hates me and it won't record it. But thankfully got them. Then there was also, so this one's going to be a little bit different. And the video you'll see after, like the little clip you'll see after this, is me kind of talking about it, while I'm at Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, is going to be a barnacle goose, which is an ABA code 3, which is obviously really, really cool. But no picture due to like private property and some stuff like that. It was kind of just in, binoculars out. So I do talk about that a little bit there. I'll probably do the counter up here rather than there, just so we can kind of all keep track of where we're going. But that was really cool. Another really, really rare goose on the year. Wild turkeys. Also, while driving, we were going on a day trip to, I think, Saucon Valley, and there was just a flock of like 7 wild turkeys kind of off in the distance. So that's why you bring binoculars when you're going on a date and you're not driving. So perfect. And then the last 2 that I think I'm going to include in this list, I have audio at least for this one, and I swear I'm trying so hard to get a picture of this bird. It hates me. It's It's a beautiful one. It is a pine warbler. That is a lifer for me, just like the barnacle goose was. Beautiful. Hearing it for the first time, you could see them hopping around. The reason that they're called pine warblers is because they're really high up in pine trees. And unfortunately, every time that I've gone to go see this bird, I get really good audio, and that's it. I've gone 6 times to see the pine warbler just to get a picture. Then there was another one like yesterday when I was out. So I'm trying to get a photo of that bird. Similar to like the red-shouldered hawk and stuff like that. I will put up the little screenshot probably of my audio, and then I'll play the audio at the bottom. I like that. That way you guys can kind of hear it and, you know, get the justification like, oh, did he see that or not? And then last but not least, and again, I made a little clip talking about it, but I'm just trying to condense into one video and get all these small trips done so then I can move on with the series and not be held back by like 15 clips that I've taken just out in the woods. Is a screech owl. So 2 owls in this video. I went outside at work to take the trash out around 8 o'clock, heard the hooting, and that was it. That was it. When I threw the trash can, or I was actually taking the recycling out. When I threw the recycling in our can, it stopped. Never heard it again. So it was great. Like, I'm really excited that I knocked off 2 owls on the year. Neither of which are lifers, but it's cool. I'm really happy. Sorry, I just kicked the tripod. So we are up to 116 on the species board. That is awesome. I'm really excited for that. Yeah, there's 117 I do kind of have, and I was trying to wait, and I know this is a messy intro, but I was trying to wait and just kind of do that on its own, so I'll probably wait for that and just put it in the next episode for a starter. Listen, we've mentioned what bird it is already before on this channel. It's not a rare one, but that'll at least provide the intro. So yeah, that brings us up to 116 species on the year as of, whenever you guys will be seeing this, probably April 10th-ish, I think is where it's looking at. This video, just like the last one, is a day late just because of editing time. It's really busy here right now, and trout season has officially started and spring migration. Philadelphia is reporting warblers, so it is what it is. Future me decided to come back and do this little outro for this video. So I will include some of the clips a little bit after this, just so you guys can kind of see like where everything was taken, or the audio and some stuff like that. But yeah, very exciting. I wish I could have photographed or got in some audio recording for some of these guys, but like I said, when you're just hopping around or happen to get an owl where you're working, it's a rarity. Just like driving past a turkey or a black vulture. Those are not birds I'm going to crash my car over. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll roll the rest of this clip. I just wanted to talk to you guys about kind of where we're standing right now. Good job editing me. All right. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of my 2025 birding year. Can you hear that? That is about 100 grackles. Well, maybe not 100, but dozens and dozens of common grackles. I was looking for a brown-headed cowbird. Did not see it. I saw grackles for the first time the other day. However, it is a lot better that I can get them here. Hopefully get a couple pictures. They're hidden in these big old pine trees here, as well as a couple woodpeckers by the sound of it. This is Ancient Oaks Recreation Area in Lehigh, Pennsylvania. This is kind of a Lehigh day, but I'll probably have to add to this from some other spots. So basically, there's an ABA Code 3 goose right down the road, known as a barnacle goose. It looks kind of similar to Canadian geese, but a much whiter face. And drove there before this. Was going to do that for my intro. It's, I don't know how much of that was private property, trespass-wise, so I didn't record in there. I tried to snap a couple pictures, but I had a couple trucks driving past giving me the look, so I got out of there as fast as possible. Crossed off my second ABA Code 3, which is pretty cool. I don't know if I got a picture of it, to be completely honest. It's been around here for a couple weeks now, and I just haven't had time to get it. And just being on the edge of business parking lots, you do have to be pretty careful. So got there, saw the white face, and I pretty much got out and then drove here. So that is, I don't even know what species, 100 something that is on the year, but it's pretty awesome. I'm gonna come back here in a few weeks once trout season opens and fish this spot, so I did want to stop here and kind of see what we could get. First picture of a grackle, some audio on the year. Got my first audio, which I don't know if I talked about this in a previous episode. I'm trying to do audio for as many species as I can find. Got my first audio for a raven. 2 of them flew over, which is pretty cool. But overall, pretty common birds so far here. However, it's nice to get different counties. So I'm working on my Lehigh County bird total at the moment, so not too bad. It's a beautiful spot. I don't know how many videos I'm going to be able to get, but we'll see. I'll add in as many pictures as I can. I did get my first black vulture the other day as well while driving in Berks County, so that was pretty cool. There was a couple of them, however, we were driving past to the in-laws house, so I did not get a photo of it. However, that is definitely not a new species. I will put in one of the photos I have of my first encounter with them in like 2012. I think that's the only photograph I have of a black vulture, but I will include that in here so you guys at least have a reference. But yeah, I'm gonna wander around for a little bit and see what else we can find, guys.